We have the New York Continental, and then in the second one, I believe we had the Rome Continental. Then we had Morocco, John Wick 3, and now we've introduced the Osaka Continental in Japan. So we're trying to introduce this world of continentals all over the world. And each city, each major city has its own hotel, its own look, its own design, its own style. So on this movie, we've chosen Osaka as our foreign destination. I wouldn't say so much a design look so much, but I think as far as like a personnel, each one has a manager, each one has a concierge, each one has a certain code of ethics and a unwritten set of rules that they have to follow. When I talked to Chad about, in the early beginnings, we talk about all, like, where could we go? Could we go to South America? Could we go to South Africa, St. Petersburg, Mexico City? I mean, any major metropolitan place. And we talk about it, and we're serious about, where can we go? And we settle on, we kind of talk to Keanu and everybody, and we settle on, do Osaka. I try to do that in a lot of the sets we do, even in the New York Continental. I try to mix a traditional samurai way of life, I call it, and their aesthetics and their artwork that dates back to the 1600s. And I use that as a base, as a foundation. And then I try to make it, what can we do to make it modern day, contemporary? So, for example, the exhibit room that we did a big gunfight in with glass, and I framed all these old, beautiful rice paper paintings and framed them in glass and put modern frames around them and put them all over the place, and was able to use them, that and the samurai suits. We had 8 samurai suits, I believe, and we were able to crash in them. But everything was framed in a super modern way, as a modern art gallery or modern art space would be. It comes down to Chad giving me a challenge of creating obstacle courses and what those obstacle courses could be. In John Wick 2, we had like a mirror set. John Wick 3, we had a glass structure that was all glass, floors, ceilings. So this one, we chose water. So we're going to incorporate water as a obstacle course, basically. That gives John Wick a playground of fighting bad guys that force them through this maze. And that's really what we try to create. We create an atmosphere. We tried to pick places that are completely different. So we chose this one to really kind of base out of Europe. Originally, we were going to St. Petersburg and Paris, but instead of St. Petersburg, we chose Berlin instead. So we kind of incorporated this whole kind of Berlin idea of East versus West, kind of like the idea of before the Berlin Wall kind of fell. So we kind of took a little bit of that idea of what life was like before 1989 and tried to incorporate a little bit into our film as we tell the story of John Wick passing into this place and trying to get out. We kind of took Berlin as a central second act of our film to really kind of anchor down on. But the first act, we really wanted to make it totally different than the second act. So we wanted to keep it lively and a little more sexy Japan feel. Completely different than a Berlin feel. So that's what we kind of narrowed it down to, and that's what we're excited about. The Paris portion of the film. I've never shot in Paris. I've always wanted to. I'm super excited about the architecture, the aesthetics. It's such a beautiful city.